Alright, here we are. Kelpy D's Wolf versus BitBro's Me Gunner. Some things to look out for here. Me Gunner, probably one of the best zoners. Wolf does have a reflector, but, you know, it's going to be kind of the, the way you play around it as a character that has projectiles versus a character that has a reflector. It's kind of what separates, being a one-trick pony, being able to shoot your projectiles versus, like, actually playing the game. And then you also have to keep in mind that Wolf does have the blaster, which, literally just goes through all of Me Gunner's projectiles. So it just has to do with, are you going to do slow missile to fake out the reflector and then actually hit them for it? Are you going to, be at a spacing where you make your opponent think you're going to go for a projectile, but actually you just go for a quick dash attack? And it's also going to be a test of reaction time on both sides. I don't think... Oh yeah, so BitBros has already shown us that the down B is the bomb and not the reflector. That would have been a good, like, mind game, I guess, to have a set that does that. But since it's an online tournament, you have no idea what your opponent is going to be using. I guess if we use Smash GG, but I hate Smash GG for small tournaments like this. Alright, so let's see what kills each. Down tilt, up tilt. Probably... Well, I mean, obviously a smash attack will, yeah. And bomb probably, and hard missile. So we're at even stocks, even percent. This is my first time seeing Kelpy D's Wolf, I think. I might be just misremembering. But, it's always good to see newcomers to the channel. Especially when their first showing is at a tournament. Like, for a lot of these players that are in this event, they play multiple times a week with the same few people. And so there's waiting for a spot dodge. I like it. So there's some amount of, like, capitalizing on a player's habits that you studied for the people that are regulars that are playing in the tournament. But for a complete newcomer, it's a lot more similar to playing in a regional event. So I should say, like, when you play against the same couple people every single week, that's kind of the feel of an actual weekly. I went to the tournament in my local scene and lost to the same two people for like a whole year when I first started going to tournaments. Just because, how seeding works. You end up fighting the people, or the same people, like, all the time, basically. And so you get used to, a lot of people's habits, like, it's the same group of people. But at a regional tournament, maybe if I'm fighting someone from Iowa for the first time, or someone from, like, Illinois, like, they don't know what I do, and I don't know what they do. So playing against a new person in an event like this kind of feels more like playing in a regional, more so than a local event or a weekly. And you need a little bit of both. While I was talking about that, we got ourselves down to the last stock, and pretty even percent. Pretty much any strong hit from Gunner will send Wolf into an edgeguard situation. And any strong hit from Wolf will, kill Gunner here. Back air up tilt, probably, obviously smash attacks, yeah. Here's the edge guard. Alright, I think that Wolf's getting pretty close to kill percent here. But the point blank forward smash gets countered by an up smash at a shield. And game one goes to our mystery participant. I'm gonna try my best to say this name. Zuhair Chaudhry, thanks for stopping by, and I hope that I get to 1K subs as well. It'll be really nice to get to the community tab so that I can post polls and things like that. If you don't mind posting a couple of things that rhyme with your name so that I can get it right, I would greatly appreciate that. This is PS1 and not PS2. Hey there, Isaiah. Are you Android 21 main? I think you are. You didn't check in for the tournament, so you missed out and the tournament has already started without you. But you already signed up for next week's tournament, I think, so, you know, just be sure to check in within 2 hours of the event next time. Let me double check here. Yeah, you're signed up for next week's tournament as well. How do you check in? So you go to the bracket, and then at 2 hours before the tournament begins, there'll be an orange box that says check in. And you click on that button, and that's basically your confirmation to me saying, hey, I'm actually going to show up for this. And that's all you do to check in. You can't do that? How did you sign up for the tournament if you can't go to the bracket? Your phone broke. How are you speaking in chat right now? Because, like, you can also access it on tablet as well, if that's what you're using right now. Your school iPad. Does your school iPad block challenge.com? Okay. So what you'll do next time is, if I'm streaming the event, then I guess you also don't have access to Discord though, right? If you don't have access to Discord, that makes things really messy. You'll basically only be able to participate in the tournaments that I stream, if that's the case, because if I'm streaming and you show up to the stream before the tournament begins, like I've spent like 30 minutes just kind of sitting around waiting for people to check in. And then people that weren't able to check in for whatever reason just told me that they were here and they were ready to participate, and I just checked them in for them. And then you would also have to use YouTube to do your bans in the YouTube chat. But if I'm not streaming, then you would have to go into the Discord, and since you don't have access to Discord, then you just have to not participate in that tournament. I plan on streaming most of these. It just depends on like my work schedule, and there are going to be a couple of weekends, especially in July, where I have a wedding to go to over the weekend, or like if I'm traveling out of town. I obviously won't be streaming the tournaments, but otherwise I plan on streaming out all of these. So we got the run back. I personally am not a fan of the run back. I think that, I say this pretty much every tournament, but if you lose game 1, then the winner bans 2 stages, and then you get to choose from the remaining 5 stages which one you want to go to. Since you have that option, I don't suggest like choosing the exact same character and also going to the same stage. Like, change the character or change the stage. Oh, they did change the set, actually. So I'm seeing the reflector here. So I take back everything that I said. The last game was close, and now they have a reflector, which is enough of a change that it might make a difference. Their first stock was lost due to a reflected missile. So that could be the difference maker. I know this is PS2 instead of PS1, but like they're basically the same. The dimensions are a little off, and like PS1 has that weird lip at the ends, and also you can like fall through Pokemon Stadium 1, even though I haven't seen anyone fall through Pokemon Stadium 2. But I also haven't personally seen anyone fall through Pokemon Stadium 1, so like it's less of a big deal. Like, I'm not so strict such that if someone goes to PS1, then I'm gonna like jump off the stage and be like, oh, you chose the wrong stage, let's go to this one instead. Obviously within reason. Like, if the chosen stage was Battlefield, I wouldn't want someone to go to Fountain of Dreams, because the dimensions are way, way off, and the underbelly of the stage is also very different. Platform placement is also a bit weird. So it's still looking pretty even. Even stock, even percents. Wolf has been able to like kind of like get in a lot easier in this game compared to last. I think that they've kind of gotten a read on the projectile rhythm from Bit Bros, but it's still pretty even in percent. So, you know, as the character that isn't, you know, heavily reliant on projectiles, that being Wolf in this case, you know, you really need to press your advantage a bit more when you're actually up in your opponent's face. Like, it shouldn't be, you know, this close. Although, you know, Mii Gunner can scrap. He's got down tilt and up tilt and things like that. Something like that only happened because I'm guessing BitBros wasn't really watching their opponent. Generally, you want to focus more on what your opponent is doing and less on what you're doing. The legendary grab cost Wolf there. You could have just rolled to avoid that. See, that's the jumping. You threw the missile and was basically already had the idea, I'm going to throw this missile and then put in a reflector, and it just happened a second time. BitBros needs to like pay more attention to what Wolf was actually doing, because in both cases Wolf was already in the air on the way to land on Gunner with an aerial. So instead of reflecting, they should have backed up and done like forward tilt or forward smash. And that's the Wolf classic: forward air into reverse aerial rush back air. Not able to report your score. I probably didn't actually start the tournament. Let me press the button. There we go. I pressed the button. Alright, that was our first set. Kelpy D wins 2-0.